Hit it.
Of course. Thanks, Troy. And we'll talk to you soon. Now it's my turn. I'm going to stick to propaganda, and I'm going to play the stinger one more time because I love it. These are the most bet on props at Major League Baseball, according to BetMGM. Starting with Andrew Abbott, who did not go over his strikeout prop because he got absolutely slammed. Or did he? Oh, gosh, I'm pretty sure he didn't go over it. He got slammed today. This game was 9-1 Milwaukee. Cincinnati ends up losing. And Abbott, oh no, he did. He had 6 strikeouts. Damn it. I got excited. Anyway, great job by the public. Over 5.5 Ks. He went over with 6, and he gave up 5 runs and 7 hits. Kyle Schwarber to hit a homer. Vlad Guerrero to hit a homer. Caglione to hit a homer. Lindor over 1.5 total bases. So I was talking about a few of these players on the PropQueen.com newsletter. Not Schwarber. He didn't really have any numbers to talk about. Vladdy has been doing pretty well recently. Let me see if I have Vladdy on this list. No. But I know Lindor is. So Lindor is hitting .450 with 4 home runs and 9 runs scored in his last 5 games. So he's doing really well right now. Caglione, I mean, you're just a homer at this point because he was 0-5 yesterday. I know that he had his first contact that he made was a nice hit to right center, but it got caught, so it wasn't a hit, obviously. But again, 0-5 yesterday, so you're just betting this because you're hopeful. There's no numbers to back it in the majors. He's got the numbers in the minors. The other ones, I don't really know. I don't really like home run props, but I'm just not going to be betting Jack Caglione to hit a home run tonight. Batters to watch. Let's go to some overs. These are some of the players that have really good matchups tonight in Major League Baseball. Obviously, Cal Quantrill and Andrew Abbott already pitched. Jose Ramirez is smashing Clark Schmidt, hitting .429, 2 doubles and a homer. He's also hitting .398 with 6 home runs and 15 ribbies, 25 runs scored, and 29-game on-base streak. So Jose Ramirez tonight at Yankee Stadium. Stephen Kwan, who, if you just are tuning in, Tom Vecchio put him in his hit parlay. Stephen Kwan to get a hit, and he parlayed that. Now I'm blanking on who he parlayed it with. Tom parlayed it. You guys all probably have a better memory than me. Trent Grisham, and Stephen Kwan, he said he's parlaying to get a hit at +105. So Stephen Kwan has great numbers against Clark Schmidt. Kyle Manzardo also has good numbers, but again, very small sample size, 3 for 5 with 2 home runs, and that's it against Clark Schmidt. Nick Castellanos hitting .381, double home run against Jose Barrios. That line's moving against Barrios too, so be careful of that game. Castellanos has good numbers. Paul Goldschmidt, 7 of 10 with 2 doubles against Luis Ortiz at Yankee Stadium. Josh Bell has a double, 4 for 8, but those are just a bunch of singles against Boyd. Willie Adames, so he's got great numbers against Pavetta. You might be able to get a good number on Adames tonight because he's struggling. He's hitting .113 with 5 singles, 3 ribbies in his last 16 games. But against Pavetta, Adames has great numbers. .455, 4 doubles, and a homer. So again, maybe you look at Adames tonight. Juan Soto, he's getting hot, and he's got good numbers against Tony Gonsolin of the Dodgers. Soto has an extra base hit in each of his last 5 games, going 6 of 18 with 2 doubles, 3 home runs, and 5 ribbies in that span. But he's never had a 6-game streak. So if you want to go and bet something that's never happened before to Juan Soto, you can go look there. Some unders you could look at. Eugenio Suarez hasn't gotten a hit yet in his career against Chris Sale. Ketel Marte hitting .133 against Sale. Max Muncy, no hits against Griffin Canning. Despite Muncy hitting .316 with 8 home runs, 26 ribbies in the last 18 games, it could be a good fade spot maybe. Mike Trout hitting .176 with a triple and a home run against Lucas Giolito. Matt Olson hitting has no hits against Merrill Kelly in his career, and Alex Verdugo has no hits against Merrill Kelly in his career. Easy Money says, I like Acuna Jr. versus Kelly tonight. Would you look at that when you get a chance, please? Let me see. I don't really think I saw anything on Acuna. I will look at my MLB numbers. Let's see if there's anything on Acuna tonight. Acuna. So Ronald Acuna Jr. Braves ranked 22nd. I'll let you improve on it. Yeah, there's really nothing on Acuna tonight, so I don't really know why you like it, but I didn't see anything that really stood out to me about Acuna. Is Marley under the desk? No, my cousin is actually here, and she's keeping Marley quiet, who I've walked like 3 hours today. So Marley is very tired, and I'm sure she's going to be like an infant and end up waking up as soon as like the show's over, and I'm going to have to deal with the fact that she doesn't want to sleep tonight. So that's probably what's going to happen to me with Marley today. But at least she's quiet during the show, so at least you guys don't have to worry about it. Now I just probably do. Strikeout props to watch for tonight. I didn't love anything, but these are the 3 that caught my eye. First, going with the Cubs lefty Matthew Boyd to go over 5.5 Ks. This is in plus money. Boyd's gone over 5.5 strikeouts in all 4 matchups he's had against high K rate lineups. Pittsburgh, San Francisco, the White Sox, the Rockies. He's had 6 or more. The Nats are averaging just over 5 strikeouts a game against lefty starters, with 2 of the last 3 southpaws to face Washington going over 5.5 strikeouts. Cleveland's righty Luis Ortiz, he's facing the Yankees tonight. You could look at his over 4.5 Ks if he could still get it under minus 150. Ortiz has had 5 or more strikeouts in 3 of 4 when facing high K rate lineups. That's the Yankees. They average 5 strikeouts a game. Righty starters, 6 of the last 10 have had 5 or more against the Yanks. As for the Giants lefty, Kyle Harrison, under 4.5 strikeouts. Very small sample size. Harrison's only made 2 starts this year. Washington and Miami. Neither of those lineups have low strikeout rates against lefties. I fade it because the Padres lineup just doesn't strike out against southpaws. 12 unders, 6 overs, averaging just over 4 strikeouts a game when facing San Diego. So Kyle Harrison potentially look to the under of 4.5 strikeouts. NBA Finals. These are some plays that I'd be looking at. And actually, before I get to the props, I told you guys, so Jessica's really good. Jessica Brand is very good at putting together ways that you can still profit by betting like to win the series in like the exact win the series bets. So Jessica said with FanDuel, you can bet OKC in 5 at plus 210, OKC in 6 at plus 440 for $100, 65 on the 5, 35 and 6, and you get to about minus 105 payout. So if anyone's interested in OKC winning in 5 or 6, and you don't know which one you want to bet, but you want to make some kind of profit off this series, because obviously we're not making money by betting OKC, then you can take a look at betting it this way. Thank you, Jessica. I know that you're really good at doing that kind of stuff. Okay, so props. First, I'd be looking at SGA under 7.5 assists. So I don't foresee the number being around tomorrow. I've already seen it drop to 6.5 in a lot of spots. And this is very generous juice for a minus 135. The Pacers have been so bad this postseason against point guards, they don't even need to dish the ball out. Jalen Brunson averaged just under 31 points a game. He averaged just under 6 assists, 5.7. Donovan Mitchell averaged 34 points a game in the series against the Pacers. And in the first game, I expect SGA to just go off at home, attacking in the paint where the Pacers defense is weak. He's not going to need to dish the ball out because they can't even protect against him anyway. So I would take an under there of 7.5 assists before it's gone. Chet Holmgren, I think he can have a bunch of double-doubles in this series. You saw what Cat was able to do against the Pacers. But Chet over 16.5 points. He really started to shine in the Minnesota series. He averaged 18 points a game with 3 20-plus point performances. The Pacers struggled last series against someone like Cat, grab boards, shoot from the wing. Isaiah Hartenstein playing the defensive role for OKC at center, so it allowed Chet to do more of what Cat could do while Miles Turner is too distracted and busy with Hartenstein. I would look it over on Chet's points. And lastly, Pascal Siakam over 6.5 rebounds is in plus money. I think it's great value. He had 10 and 9 rebounds against OKC in the regular season. These teams move at such a fast pace. There's going to be a ton of rebounding opportunities. Game 1, it's the adrenaline rush, running up and down the court quickly. I expect there to be missed shots. Siakam's been more reliable on the boards than Miles Turner. That's why Siakam's rebounds prop is 6.5 and Turner's at 5.5. Siakam's had 7 or more rebounds in 2 of the 3 game ones. Looking at the Thunder, they allowed at least 2 players to have 8 or more rebounds in both game ones against the Nuggets and the T-Wolves. So in plus money, you can take a look at Pascal Siakam tomorrow night to go over his rebounds. You know what it is? It is the last minute of the show, so that means... Oh, wait, no, I didn't get to Fishy Lines. Damn it. Okay, where's Fishy Lines? I didn't add it. That's why I almost forgot it. Okay, we've got one more before I get to Royal Locks. Nope, I can't add it. Hold on one second. Producer problems. Okay. I told you, guys, you can only have a certain number of graphics in the show, and then it makes you delete them to add more. This one is Fishy Lines. Your fishy line of the day. Look at how much the line has moved in favor of Baltimore, despite the public being on the Seattle Mariners. Listen, I know it's hard to back Cade Povich. However, it's hard to back the Seattle Mariners right now. They've lost 8 of their last 13. The offense has been abysmal in that 13-game span, averaging 3.3 runs per game, hitting 167 with runners in scoring position. Outside of their catcher, Cal Raleigh, the rest of the Mariners are hitting 219 with just 9 home runs. Mariners starter Emerson Hancock owns a 4.50 ERA in his last 8 starts. The Orioles' bullpen's much more rested than the Mariners. I would just be very wary of the Seattle Mariners tonight. Now it's my best bets of the day. Let's get to Royal Locks. Royal Locks. Baseball and basketball. Starting with this play at Matthew Boyd, over 5.5 Ks at plus 102. I like the value. Boyd's gone over this 5.5 number in all 4 matchups against high K rate teams. Then after averaging just over 5 strikeouts a game against lefties, with 2 of the last 3 southpaws going over against Washington. Then in the NBA, I'm telling you this is a Royal Lock because I don't see this number at 7.5 sticking around. SGA is probably dropping to 6.5 by tomorrow with juice to the over. You're getting a good number at juice to the under, 7.5 assists. The Pacers are so bad against guards. SGA is going to be able to take advantage. He's not going to need to dish the ball out. Jalen Brunson went over 6.5 assists in just 2 games, and the book kept booking it at 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, and yet it only went over twice. Jalen Brunson averaged 31 points a game in this series. Donovan Mitchell averaged 34 points a game in against Indiana in that series. SGA's at home. He should go off tomorrow night against the Indiana Pacers. Not need to dish the ball out to his teammates. That's it for us here on the Prop Queen Pod. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. As always, EC Money says thank you to Jessica Brand. I always want to give her a shout out. She is always in the PropQueen.com newsletter that you can subscribe to. Premium subscribers get all of this information first thing in the morning around 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern time. And Jessica always provides some good statistics for betting in there as well. And then you can also subscribe to the Prop Queen Pod on YouTube, Prop Queen Sports on YouTube. Please subscribe and like. It helps a lot. I appreciate all of you for always tuning in. Make sure to spread the word. And I will be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern time here on the Prop Queen Pod. Good luck with your bets tonight.